In the quiet suburbs of Maplewood, nestled behind a middle-aged man's backyard, lay a dense, ominous forest. The man, named Robert, had lived in his modest home for over a decade, blissfully unaware of the ancient evil that lurked just beyond his property line. Robert, a reserved and introverted man in his 40s, had always found solace in the tranquility of his surroundings. The thick woods provided a natural barrier, shielding him from the prying eyes of neighbors and offering a sanctuary where he could escape the mundane troubles of everyday life. Little did he know that this sanctuary would soon become a realm of unrelenting horror. One crisp autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the forest, Robert decided to take a leisurely stroll along the edge of the woods. The vibrant foliage crunched beneath his feet as he ventured deeper into the forest than he ever had before. The leaves whispered secrets to the wind, and the ancient trees seemed to sigh in response. As darkness descended, Robert felt an unnatural chill in the air. A sense of foreboding gnawed at the edges of his consciousness, urging him to retreat to the safety of his home. Ignoring the unease, he pressed on, curiosity compelling him to explore further. The moon rose high in the sky, casting eerie silhouettes among the trees. Robert stumbled upon a clearing where a gnarled, ancient oak stood alone. Its bark was black as obsidian, and its branches twisted and contorted like the fingers of a malevolent entity. At the base of the tree, he discovered an ornate, weathered tome half buried in the earth. Unable to resist his curiosity, Robert carefully unearthed the tome, revealing pages filled with cryptic symbols and incantations. He had unwittingly unleashed something ancient and terrible into his life. Little did he know that this was the unholy grimoire of ZoZo, a demon who had been imprisoned within the forest for centuries. As the clock struck midnight, Robert, bathed in moonlight, read aloud an incantation from the tome, unleashing ZoZo's malevolent presence. A howling wind swept through the forest, and the ancient oak began to tremble, roots rising from the earth like serpents. In the clearing, a swirling vortex of darkness manifested, and from it emerged a grotesque, horned creature with eyes like smoldering embers. ZoZo, the demon of the woods, stood before Robert, his grotesque form casting a chilling shadow. His voice was a cacophony of whispers, both seductive and horrifying as he spoke directly into Robert's mind. "Welcome, mortal," ZoZo hissed. "You have set me free, and now you are bound to me. I shall grant you power and knowledge beyond your wildest dreams, but in return you shall serve as my vessel in the mortal realm." Robert, gripped by fear and fascination, was unable to resist ZoZo's dark influence. He agreed to the demon's offer, sealing his fate with a blood pact. From that moment on, Robert's life took a dark and sinister turn. As the days passed, Robert became increasingly reclusive, consumed by his newfound connection to ZoZo. His once bright eyes now bore the darkness of the abyss, and his mind was filled with sinister thoughts and desires. He found himself compelled to carry out terrible acts in ZoZo's name, luring unsuspecting victims into the woods, where they would meet gruesome fates. The townspeople grew suspicious of Robert's increasingly erratic behavior and the mysterious disappearances plaguing the community. Whispers of a malevolent force lurking in the woods spread like wildfire. Some brave souls ventured into the forest, searching for answers, but none returned. Desperate to break free from ZoZo's grip, Robert scoured the ancient tome for a way to banish the demon. He discovered a ritual that required a sacrifice of his own soul. With trembling hands and a heavy heart, he prepared for the ritual, determined to rid himself of the demon's influence once and for all. As the ritual neared its conclusion, ZoZo sensed Robert's intentions and unleashed a torrent of dark energy, manifesting as nightmarish creatures that swarmed around them. The forest itself seemed to come alive, its twisted trees and eerie shadows closing in. In a final act of desperation, Robert completed the ritual, sacrificing his own soul to banish ZoZo. The forest erupted in a cataclysmic explosion of light and darkness, and ZoZo's howls of fury echoed through the night. The ancient oak crumbled into dust, and the malevolent presence dissipated, leaving Robert with nothing but the haunting memories of his dark ordeal. As the sun rose over the quiet suburbs of Maplewood, The forest behind Robert's backyard appeared calm and tranquil once more. The town remained ignorant of the horrors that had unfolded, and Robert, forever scarred by his encounter with the demon, lived out the rest of his days in solitude, haunted by the darkness that had once consumed